Before this video starts on the LS500, we got that car from McRed Lexus of Westmont, and we talked to our sales consultant Art Cool regarding the vehicle. So anyways, enjoy the video. Hey everyone, I'm Zen Big, this is Auto Group, and this is the 2018 Lexus LS500. We finally got this car reviewed, thank God. I've been waiting so long to get this car finally out on the road. We did a launch event video. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out for some extra features we covered before this video. But this is finally the twin turbo V6 416 horsepower Lexus LS500, not the H. So we have the all-wheel drive model, and this one is $103,000. So it's the full executive rear package, Mark Levinson reference surround sound, and of course some other goodies that you get with the hybrid, which increase the price. Of course, this is the standard one. So the base one is usually the F Sport, and that ends at about $88,000, $90,000. This one, being the luxury package, has of course everything you want inside with the full executive rear seat package where you control the buttons, the front seat goes down. That's fantastic. But if you're into something performance wise, you don't always have to get the F Sport, because this car has a 416 horsepower twin turbocharged V6. So it makes about 440 pound-feet of torque, 450 pound-feet of torque. And in the back, of course, it's got these exhaust outlets to garnish, and then inside it does have a dual exhaust outlet. So in the front, it has the controversial Lexus spindle grille. I love the spindle grille on nearly every single Lexus car, and in this one it looks absolutely fantastic. Behind the Lexus emblem, you have the radar cruise control and all your amenities, you know, pre-safe, collision warning, all the radars. And of course, you got all your parking sensors to go around in your parking spots. And of course, this has a backup camera, as is mandated. And why wouldn't Lexus put that in their top-end luxury car? So this car looks absolutely gorgeous, especially with the glass roof on top, and it has the panoramic roof. It's just gorgeous with this two-tone view mirror, black on top, white on bottom. It's fantastic, especially with this cream interior. I love it so much. It just looks it looks like a private jet, honestly. This is totally on the level of the Mercedes-Benz S560, because honestly, I mean, you can't even differentiate between these companies anymore. They're all so competitive and so into the game that you can get any car and be happy with it, and you can't really go wrong. Unless, of course, you get one of the cheaper ones like the Cadillac CT6 or the Genesis G90. Those cars are where it's not on the level of the big dogs like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, and Lexus. Anyways, let's go to the driver's seat real quick. I want to show you some awesome features. So right now, since this car has an air suspension, the ride quality is set to high because we're not moving right now. And of course, for your ease of access, the seat belt comes up, the seat side, the bolsters unbolster themselves, and you can easily get in. And it's really tall right now. And as soon as you get in, go on the drive, then of course your car gets all lowered. But let's just talk about first of all the materials in the car. Especially when you're paying above 100K for a car, you want to know if every single one of your materials is fantastic in the car. Starting with the most important thing, the headliner. At this price point, it is absolutely covered in Alcantara everywhere, even up to the A-pillar, which some cars can cheap out on. Not at all. Lexus was like, no. The whole dashboard is stitched in beautiful leather with white contrast stitching. And inside the gauge cluster, there is stitching around its full digital tachometer. In the side, you do have two analog gauges, you know, one over there and one over there for your fuel and your temperature. Or else everything is covered in beautiful material. Even the centerpiece is all leather with the leather stitching, contrast stitching. And along as you go on the door, I love how Lexus did this. This reminds me of the Toyota Century, where they had all like, you know, like fabric type material inside. This is beautiful microfiber Alcantara all the way going down over there. And what Lexus has done something super clever. This car does not have mood lighting, but it does have something awesome. So when it's nighttime and you're driving along, there's a little light under the wood panel, and it goes all the way down because this piece is kind of floating over here. It goes all the way down and illuminates the whole door panel, and it makes it look even better than mood lighting in most cases. It's an LED light over there and under each door. Under each door panel. So another awesome thing now is this cowl thing that I love in every single Lexus car. That should be in every single Lexus car. It's in most of them. That you go up once for sport, and then the gauge cluster changes, because normal is, you know, a flat like silver, and then of course you go up for sport, and then sport plus gives you another, you know, more sharper handling, everything, quicker steering ratio. And you got aluminum paddle shifters. You can also put it to comfort if you go one down, and then another one down is eco. and it goes kind of blue in the gauge cluster. On the left side, you can turn it on and off the traction control settings. So right now, of course, traction control is probably on, I don't know, but you know, you can put it to snow mode also and completely traction control off. In the middle, you have a 12.3-inch navigation display. It has all your things like, first of all, it has a 23 speaker, 2400 watt Mark Levinson audio system. There's speakers everywhere. Over here, right in front of us, there are 2. Then in the middle, there are 2. In the rear, there's 1. There's subwoofers somewhere. Probably this whole thing over here is a subwoofer. And there's so much, it just all feels so coddled. And what I love about this car is that the roof is low, so it feels nice and cozy inside. You know, it's not too big and truck-like or anything, which is awesome. And the clever thing that Lexus has done that I really like is the fact that the whole steering isn't lined with the wood. It's like an inlay inside, so you have that thing to look at. But if you want the grip of a leather steering, then you can get that on the outer edge, which is absolutely awesome. So another thing, over here, the volume and tuning knob is so clever because on the top it's your volume knob, but then at the bottom it's your tuning knob, so you could change your radio all in one button. Fantastic, easy to use as you're driving down the road. Something that was already super easy, tuning and volume knob, is now in one piece. This wood trim is gorgeous. You can get this with a Kiriko, or it's called Kiriko, I'm pretty sure. You can get a glass, it's a glass finish. Then for the door panels, you know, once you get that glass finish, you can also get a pleated fabric finish. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks like scales almost, and it's like kind of origami based, you know, showing the Japanese heritage behind this car. And these lines, well, you may think, hey, you know, they may be plastic when you look at them in pictures. No, they are full magnesium. These beautiful flowing lines running from here all the way over there into the side. By the way, both passenger and driver seats have 3 settings for memory in the seats, which is absolutely awesome. You know, you want that. You can change them up each passenger that gets in, which is great. Alright, over here you got the air suspension control. You can press that button and then it lowers and raises the car. Right now it's at high. It says in the gauge cluster that the car, it shows the car, and then it says high over there, you know, meaning that the car is raised. And other things, the seat, what does this button do? Oh, look, so as soon as you click up the seat button, it brings the whole adjustment thing over here. You know, I'm learning as we go. And then this touchpad controller is the one thing that I kind of don't really like compared to the joystick one. I feel like this one doesn't provide as much feedback. I mean, it's easier to move around, but the old one really was just giving you that satisfying vibration in the touchpad controller to go know where you're going. Other things, this gear shifter now with the 10-speed in the LC500 and the LS500 is a little quick little movement. Let me show you. So if you go over here once, it's on neutral, and then if you go down, it's drive, and then up, you go to reverse. Now the reverse backup camera and a 360 camera comes up. Look at that quality over there, fantastic. And then you can go down once over here for manual as well. Once you're driving along, you know, manual, and then you can press P to park it. Simple, awesome, easy to use. You got dedicated map button, menu button. Now let's go on the drive. Before that, I want to show you one more thing. The executive seating package is fantastic in there. You can completely go and control that. All right, so we also reviewed the current king of the luxury sedan segment, which is the Lexus, the Mercedes S550, right? And this car is this company literally just started in 1989. And being so new, Lexus has really just made their own in the car's whole driving and everything, the dynamics. One thing that I like about this car is that it's pretty narrow, so you can easily navigate it for being such a big car. And there's a lot of engine vibration, but it's like sporty. And the accelerator pedal kind of takes a second, like, to start going, because it wants to be more smooth and just perfect. And the steering weighs up at about 30 miles per hour. And right now it's in normal mode, obviously. And then the brake effort is just so easy, and everything is just so planted in this car and stable. And the ride quality isn't the most, like, you know, floaty or anything. It's like there's not much body roll, and there's a bit of, like, you can feel when you go over a bump, you can feel like a little boom, you know, in the seat and whatever. But the steering even feels like it has slight response in it, and of course I can adjust that to be to my liking. It comes pretty nice and far also, so this is very comfortable. Oh my god, it's like so relaxed inside the car. And the thing is, you know, people were like, why did they take out the beautiful LS V8, you know, the naturally aspirated 380 horsepower V8 that this car had? But let's see how the twin turbo V6 does. So right now the accelerator response is kind of numb because, you know, we're in normal. So let's crank it up to Sport Plus. Now I heard there is intake sound inside the car, and immediately I can just tell that the accelerator response is sharpened up. Oh, it sounds almost like a, you know, like a kind of almost like a V8, you know. It's pretty good in that, and it sounds like a very high performance twin turbocharged V6 for sure, you know, whether this car is a V8 or not. And the steering is, oh wow, it's actually really heavy. I noticed that it takes some force now to move it around, and that's not something that usually really changes in Lexus's cars when you put it into a different mode, but in this car it's definitely there. Wow, this car is absolutely fantastic to drive, and it's so smooth in the gear shift. That's absolutely amazing. I love that so much. And the brake response is so smooth. I love that about this car. So you have to turn the steering sometimes quite a bit, you know, to get it turning. This isn't the F Sport or anything with the tighter steering ratio, but when you let it go, it's absolutely dead stable. And I love this car's like overall stability, and the headrest is so pillowy, you know. It doesn't have a physical pillow on it, but it feels like one for sure, which I love. I just love driving this car so much. And I do feel like the S550 was a little smoother to drive, especially with that V8, you know. The sound definitely helped it feel that way, and there was more of that V8 smooth vibration rather than this one. But I don't miss a V8 in the LS, you know. This is just absolutely serene, quiet inside, and I can whisper and still talk to you guys, even though I don't even have a microphone. I have a GoPro, so it's still really good for that. Overall, the driving experience of this car is just fantastic. We put it down to comfort, you know. Now it's all relaxed and we're all chill. I love that. And the indicator is so quiet that I couldn't even tell for a second that I had it on. Oh man, now the accelerator response just fades out a little bit, and now it's just the steering is lighter, and it's just stuff. I feel like a passenger driving this car, you know. It's almost like that. So anyways, that's basically it for the whole driving experience of this car. I absolutely loved it. The S-Class did ride over the bumps a little better, but man, this is just fantastic. Up in that category, BMW, Mercedes, Audi. It's totally at that beautiful car, interior, exterior. I love driving it, and the seatbelt is so soft. I love this car. All right, so I'm now in the back seat, you know, like most people would sit in this LS500, you know, with a chauffeur and everything. So let me show you all the controls in the back. So if you click on the front seat setting, it actually moves it. Now the way I'm clicking on it, and then you get the full executive experience. Now it's moving the seat forward. Just look at that whole area in the front. It's absolutely beautiful. Now I have pressed the recline button on my seat, and now I am fully in the laying down position. Now it's extra comfortable, you know. I can lay down in this car basically, and I mean, there's so much leather I can't obviously put my feet up, but still I think I can also do like massages, and there's a shade for the back. This is electronic. That is as well. Also a side shade, and then I don't know about this one. Maybe if I go to the different seat. Now I've also put on the ventilated seats, and it is just absolutely awesome. I also put the shade over here so it's all private. And I have a little mirror, which is really cool. That's really awesome. I love that. And of course the Mark Levinson speakers are also here. It's just overall such a coddling experience over here, you know, all fully reclined back. Another thing that I love about the Lexus LS500 is the fact that the pillars, the B pillar is seamlessly connected in with the two door pieces of glass. Look how awesome this is. Like, and it has some auditory fixture pieces, you know, so no audio from the outside world goes in here, no road noise, no tire noise. And just look at how awesome this is. Like, it just fits in there, you know. There's no bulge like other cars. It makes it look like there's no pillar at all. I love that about this car. Overall, the time with the 2018 LS500 from Lexus has certainly been fantastic. From the material quality in and out, the ride quality, the powertrain, the drivetrain, everything was so connected and so smooth, just the way Lexus does it. It was absolutely fantastic. The front and back experience, the infotainment system, the Mark Levinson surround sound, it was beautiful. The only thing that I think the S550 beat out just by a smidge on the Lexus LS500 is the ride quality was simply more opulent in that car. But this car, with all its driving modes, it's so fun to drive, so relaxing. It's absolutely worth even up to the top end ones like 120K for this car, and that's certainly cheap than the fully loaded ones on the competitors. And if you don't like this car, then how about you get in one of these and just do one of these. ऐसा कर ले कि before this video starts type का या है ना? Alright, so before this video starts about the LS500, we got this car from Lexus. Before we start this video on the LS500, we got that car from McRed Lexus of Westmont from our sales consultant.